So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for staying with us through to the graveyard shift. I do realise that some of you have got date with a linear car park, probably known or commonly known as a motorway. So I'll try and keep it brief but very informative. So I'm a relatively newcomer to Sellafield, joined the organisation at the beginning of August. Many of you will know that Sellafield is steeped in history and culture. But as an organisation, we need to change. And the reason we need to change is so that we can deliver against our programme and our ambition. So we've recently published, or within the last 12 months, our corporate strategy and transformation document. Our transformation is built on performance, making sure that we manage our business effectively to deliver against that ambition. Looking at how to use technology to enable us to make informative decisions, the right decisions, as well as how to exploit technology to ensure that we innovate. Structure, making sure that we are structured to deliver the right performance to ensure that we are actually successful. And last but not least, and from my perspective, the most important, is ensuring that our people are equipped and trained to ensure our success. What I request you to do is go and familiarise yourselves with those documents. Get on board with our change programme and our transformation programme, because as a supply chain, we're looking for you to support us to be successful in that transformation. So what does that mean for the supply chain function? Well, we're going to invest in our people. We're going to make sure that they're equipped for success. We're going to make sure that they're demonstrating the right behaviours, both internally with our stakeholders and externally towards you, the supply chain. As you've already heard before, as an organisation, as an industry, we need to attract talent from different sectors, different industries, to bring in new thinking, new behaviours and new ambition. And we're going to do that within supply chain as well. We're committed to collaborative working. We want to shift away from working in silos, both internally and externally. And as a consequence of doing that, we're committed to achieving ISO 44001. We're looking at enhancing and investing in technology within the supply chain function to make sure that it's easy and intuitive to use within our business, to give us the right data and the data that we can use to make good, strong, informed decisions. We're looking at putting in place the right contracting strategies. We recognise that we've been difficult to deal with in the past, but what we want to do is have agile contracting strategies and contracting strategies that are based on outputs, to ensure that we can actually embrace the know-how and the innovation within the supply chain. And lastly, we're going to continue to challenge everything that we do. And the reason that we want to do that is we are not going to change and we're not going to be successful unless we challenge everything that we do and continue to ask why, to understand why we do things, but then change the way that we do things. So what does that mean for you from a supply chain perspective? Well, studying the result, we want to be seen as the client of choice within our supply chain. You're going to find that our people are engaged, passionate, and professional in terms of how they actually deal with you. We want to ensure, and you will see, that we actually want to listen to what you've got to offer. We recognise that we don't have all of the answers, but in the past, we think we've had all of the answers. And basically, we put in place relationships and contracts which have been very much based on a very old approach of master and slave. We are going to shift that. We want to hear about the exciting things that you are doing, not just within nuclear, but within other sectors, and bringing that intelligence, bringing that innovation to the table to reshape our thinking. And as I've said, we're going to put the contracting strategies that make it easier to actually deal with us once you brought that to the table. What will that do for us? Well, it'll mean that we can optimize and accelerate our delivery programs. It means that we can start to work with the supply chain to look at opportunities around joint ventures and commercialization of know-how, and look at how we can actually redeploy some of our people into those joint ventures. What does it mean for you? Well, it means that your profile will start to raise. It'll mean that you can start to win new business, both within the nuclear sector, in a broader geography, but also in different sectors, which will also mean that it actually reduces the risk to yourselves and ourselves in reducing the dependency on ourselves. So you've heard me talk about the fact that we want to be easier to deal with. You've heard Stephen from Doon Ray talk about Link. And I'm an individual that within a business, not talking about externally, but internally, I like to steal with pride. If I see something that's great, I will just grab it and I'll start to put it in place. And this is one example of where we as a function, not me, but the function, have actually seen something that's really good. And we've decided to steal with pride from Doon Ray, with their permission, I might add, the Link scheme. We launched Link at the Directors Forum at the beginning of October. We've had over 100 people or 100 organisations apply. I've got to stress, it is focused on the SME community, and we have had a number of the larger players trying to apply for the scheme, which we will reject, but we've had over 80 successful SME organisations be registered on the actual platform itself. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we are launching our first challenge. And our challenge that I've focused on SMEs bringing to the table off-the-shelf innovative solutions and know-how that have been applied elsewhere. It's new to us, so it'll be innovation to us, but it may not be innovation to other people. And it's to solve the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis. And the first challenge is actually focused on how do we, or how does the supply chain support us in implementing 44001, which we see as a game changer in terms of how we'll actually work with our supply chain. Now, in terms of the Sellafield opportunities going forward from a supply chain perspective, this is just a snapshot of the activities or the opportunities that are going to be taking place or put out to market from Sellafield over the next 18 months. As you can see, there's a mix of operational and capital and project type opportunities, ranging from guard force and facilities management, through to glove box systems, through to 3-metre cube boxes, through to new batching plants. Now, to avoid putting all of the detail on there, because there would be an awful lot of detail, what I would like you to do is actually visit our website. Our website has recently moved across to the government's website. You'll find more and more information about us as a business, the transformation that we're actually going on. So the documents that I actually showed you earlier will be there for you, available for you to download. You'll learn how to do business with us as Sellafield as an organisation. You'll be able to see our detailed procurement plan, indicative spends, and also the people that you need to contact. You'll also find the link for Link. And if you have any further queries, please send an email to that address, supply.chain.inquiries@sellafield.com. I make no apologies for the fact that it's a little bit of a detailed or a little bit of a lengthy email address, but please send it through to there if you've got any queries, and we'll address those as soon as possible. One of the other things that I would like you to do, in the limited time that you've got left, please go over to our stand and grab a copy of the supply chain strategy. So everything that I've talked about today from a transformational perspective within the supply chain function is detailed in there, and it's in easy to understand language. We've been conscious to make sure that that is understandable by the supply chain community, so please do that. And thanks again for your time.